What is going on, YouTube? Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be reacting to an interview with Lucifer. Alright, now while I react to this, keep in mind that this was posted and filmed over 6 years ago.
First, let's talk about your reign. Now, you've had a fairly long one. What would you attribute to your success and popularity?
Oh, that's easy. Every generation is the same. I appeal to their lust and ego. I offer all the sex, wealth, and fame a person could want. Do as thou wilt has been my campaign slogan from the start. And my campaign platform hasn't changed either. I run on the same 3 issues every generation. Lust of the flesh, lust of the eyes.
Do as thou wilt, which is one of Aleister Crowley's main sayings, and if you've been paying attention, Jay-Z used to rock those shirts back in the 90s when he was all about the ROC.
Now, where was I? Oh yeah. What I do is gradually get someone addicted to porn. And once lust has had its full work and he and she can no longer restrain themselves, they usually look to act out their fantasies on someone. And sometimes that someone is a child. Now, if my plan plays out perfectly, that abused child will eventually turn to a life of promiscuity and perversion themselves, allowing me to continue my vicious cycle.
The second thing you had mentioned, I believe, you said lust of the flesh, lust of the eyes. Can you elaborate?
Humans are never satisfied. You always crave more. Bigger house, bigger car, more money, more power. The list goes on and on. I just take their natural ambitious desire, pervert it, and use it against them for their own destruction. My plan is to allow them to never be content. As long as I can keep them craving what others have, I can depend on them to argue, fight, even kill to get it. Humans are so easily tricked into jealousy. With more knowledge comes more pride. And you know pride is my specialty. And since humans don't like to keep God in their wisdom, I'm able to seduce them with all types of things to help puff up their ego. Lately, fame has been my biggest seller. Who doesn't like attention and feeling more important than the next person? Once I make them famous, I can really use them to promote my agenda.
This is where selling your soul comes into play when it comes to power and fame, not only in in the music industry, but with politicians and all that. Well, politicians are bred, within their family too, and their bloodline to get into that position of power and continue the power structure, I guess you can say. But when you sell out, you're basically making a contract with these evil entities, these evil spirits, which ultimately are what are behind the elite and their true source of their power.
I've convinced half of the world to not only accept sin, but to celebrate it. Do you know what has been my most enjoyable pride campaign to date?
No, what?
Well, my gay pride campaign, of course. Not only do I get the chance to promote your own self-destruction, I get to use God's logo, the rainbow, to do it. Love is love, right? My plan not only prevents you worthless humans from reproducing, it distorts the gender roles and allows me to bring all types of chaos and confusion upon your pathetic societies. It's been so successful, I've got men convinced they're women, and women convinced they're men, and some convinced they're no gender at all. And I've got 2 more Pride Initiative campaigns I'd like to introduce in the near future.
Really? I'm guessing you probably want me to ask you what they are, right?
Well, first, it's abortion pride. Now, I think we can pull this off. Society is definitely ready for it. I've enlisted to help a Planned Parenthood to work with marketing and promotions. And all we'll have to do is silence the so-called abolitionists and pro-lifers, because the rest of the church doesn't seem to care. And second is pedophilia pride. Now, society might not be ready for this one just yet, so we'll hold off. I need to desensitize them a little more before we introduce it.
And that's where the MAPS concept comes in. Yeah, they've coined the word minor attracted person. They even tried getting a bill passed in Connecticut about it. Actually saved it right here on my phone.
Part 1, there is no age restriction on the person romantically, emotionally, or sexually attracted to. By definition, minor attracted persons, MAPS, people who are sexually attracted to minors, are included as a protected class of individuals under this bill. Yes, pedophilia and nepophilia While the state even reminds us in their summary that the current law expressly excludes any behavior that is a sex offense crime, oddly, it was removed from this newly proposed definition.
And this was proposed back in March of 2023, so just 2 years ago. Bear in mind that this was created, this video that I'm reacting to was created 6 years ago. So yeah, more information on this, Google it, HB 6638 out of Connecticut. So basically, we already know the little fish are getting locked up, you know. You got R. Kelly, Diddy going after Jay-Z. You got CEOs from major apparel companies. The Jeffrey Epstein list, which hasn't been released, but it's soon to be. All these small fishes are gonna lead to the big fishes, which is pretty much, it's getting the public to accept that people in power aren't untouchable, starting with the athletes, the people in entertainment, actors and stuff. Yeah, they're not untouchable. We got a few of them. Eventually, it's gonna lead to the big fish. That's a little bit more difficult because they have that persona that they put up front in front of the public. So there's always people that are going to try to defend them and still stand with them, you know, like with the Clintons, you know, the Obamas, Biden. Well, I don't know who the fuck stands with Biden anymore, but I think this is what it's priming us for. Eventually, those big fish are going to get caught, so we're not going to be surprised. It's going to be like, that's what it's leading for. But at the same time, they're trying to cover them tracks, as you can see, getting rid of evidence, creating these new terms, trying to pass bills and laws so they're protected under the law because they have that power to create laws, right? So then when this information does come out, the list gets leaked, video footage, pictures, more victims come out with evidence as well. All this stuff, they're going to be like, oh, well, you know, we're protected under the law now, so it doesn't really matter if we're on video, you know, molesting little kids.
Some may consider your policies destructive, dangerous even. What would be your response to that? What would you say to your detractors?
All of my policies are aimed to do one of three things: either steal, kill, or destroy. And if it's not doing one or all three of those things, then it's not in my agenda, and I'm not promoting it.
Okay.
Now, as you know, I was over music in heaven. My beats were so dope, I got over a third of the angels to follow me. And once I got here to the earth, I needed artists and entertainers to help me promote my message here.
This makes a lot of sense because I remember as a kid growing up hearing about if you play this track backwards, you hear satanic, you know, messaging, subliminal messages behind these records, CDs, cassettes. You know, like, why? Didn't never make sense, but now all it's making sense. Every evil thing that's manifesting in society has a root, and that root is leading to exactly what the fuck we're watching right now.
Drugs and incarceration are a couple of my more popular means. Without the head of the household present, I can become the head and influence the children without too much resistance. It has always been my policy to target and isolate a group of people. And out of all my strategies, this skin color thing has worked the best. I definitely want to keep white people and black people separated. As long as I can keep black people bitter and white people offended, I'm good. Hopefully black people will never forgive. That way I can continue to use them. One group in particular try to oppose every policy I try to implement. I would be so much further along in my agenda if it wasn't for them.
Really? So what group is that?
Those pesky, born-again Jesus followers. They're a real thorn in my side. Every generation they come together and try to dismantle one of my signature policies. Now, I've convinced half of the world that Jesus didn't exist and the other half that he wasn't divine. But I can't seem to convince them. They seem hell-bent on telling everybody about him and spreading his message. Some of them believe he's coming to unseat me in this generation. Crazy, huh? I'll tell you, those idiots are really messing with my legacy.
I'll end the video with this. Then war broke out in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon. The dragon and his angels fought back. But he was not strong enough, and they lost their place in heaven. The great dragon was hurled down, that ancient serpent called the devil, or Satan, who leads the whole world astray. He was hurled to the earth and his angels with him. Thank you so much for watching. Go ahead and drop a like, and I'll see you guys in the next one.